Yo, this your boy James over at XpectoGO, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Harry Potter Magic Awakened content. And today, it is my honor and privilege to interview one of the amazing voice actors for said game, Harry Potter Magic Awakened, as an ambassador for the game Harry Potter Magic Awakened. I'm here with the voice of Robyn Thistlewaite, Grace Rolek. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, it's my pleasure, and I'm so excited to talk about the game.
Yay. Okay, awesome. So how this got to be was just somebody reached out. I think it was like your dad or agent or someone who reached out.
No, it was my dad.
No way.
Yeah, no, he had actually found your YouTube channel and showed it to me, and then was like, well, so I don't know if you're interested in talking, but I actually already emailed him. And I was like, great. But then I watched your channel and you seemed like you had such great energy. And so I'm super happy this worked out.
That is amazing. Yeah, as a dad, I would do the same. So that's cool. Shout out to you.
Yes, shout out to Ron Rolek.
Let's go. So we got a couple of questions, just general questions about your involvement with the game and just how it came to be, but also thoughts on some of the gameplay and some of your favorite aspects, not only for the game, but in the Wizarding World. Over here at XpectoGO, we are huge Wizarding World fans, and particularly covering gameplay when it comes to the Portkey Games titles. So to have you here again is an honor, and I'm excited to talk more about this game that I have been loving for the past week or so. So let's start with just a general one. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Grace Rolek.
Well, so that's my name. That's a good place to start, Grace Rolek. But I've been acting since I was a kid, and voice acting is really the thing that stuck for me. So
Awesome.
I've worked in video games, animation, audiobooks, scripted podcasts, like pretty much anything that involves my voice. But
yeah.
I've been having a lot of fun recently. I've been doing more video game stuff, and it's really fun. And especially being able to then, when it comes out, go in and actually play the games and see it all happen and interact. I mean, obviously in animation, it's fun too to watch yourself, but it's fun to be involved.
Is it weird kind of hearing your voice on like a totally different person not named Grace for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, especially when it's different from my own voice, but in some ways it's actually better for me the further away from my normal speaking voice.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm able to create a little bit more like separation.
Great. Multiple characteristics that is Grace with these different characters.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
It's fun with Robyn too, because she has a British accent, and so it's fun. It's fun to hear that.
Because I was going to ask that, because I was like, when I heard your voice, I was like, oh, you don't have a British accent. So I was like, okay, so what went into like creating the accent? Was there training involved to get to that point, or was this just like, yep, you sound good, let's go with it? So like, how did that work?
Well, so when I first auditioned, they had in the character description that they were looking for that classic British received pronunciation.
Of course.
And so I definitely practiced it at home before. But then when I actually found out that I had booked the role of Robyn, I was like, oh, I can't mess around. I actually did hire a single session for a dialect coach. I just wanted to make sure that like I was actually technically there, because I grew up reading and watching the Harry Potter movies, and so I had always kind of like imitated some of some of the things that the characters would say, some iconic lines, and so it was pretty easy to sort of slip into that way of speaking. But I did see a dialect coach once, because I was just like, if I'm doing this, I can't mess it up.
No, not at all, especially for a game and Wizarding World and ties, and that, that accent is, just so related to the Wizarding World. So yeah, I know, I totally get it. Now, you said an iconic line in the Wizarding World, Harry Potter movies, whatever. what's one that you might have said when little Grace was, I voicing these characters?
I mean, I definitely, as a little girl, was super, super inspired by Hermione. So I was always going around saying, "It's Wingardium Leviosa, not Wingardium Leviosa."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can hear Robyn too right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, cool.
Also, all
Well,
the spells, going,
oh yeah, of
Expecto
course.
Patronum.
Yes. Okay, awesome. So, okay, we're talking about Harry Potter. I'm going off script a little bit. Let's go right into, okay, what is your Hogwarts house? And if you know, what is your Patronus?
Okay, so when I took the Pottermore quiz, when
Okay.
it first came out, I am a Slytherin, actually, and
Wow, nice.
I would say that fits. I would consider myself pretty ambitious, and
Mhm.
when time allows, I can be a little cunning,
And there's no negativity, no, like nothing negative about being a Slytherin. I know representation in the books and stuff, but all the houses matter. And like at
Yes.
the end of the day, like I think we find identity with these houses, and whether positive or you can turn it negative, whatever it is. But I think it's just fun to have your characteristics represented in a house, particularly with the
Definitely.
wizarding world. And so there's a sense of identity there. So yeah,
Yeah.
no negativity with Slytherin.
Yeah. No, I definitely, as a Slytherin, I'm definitely, pro positive representation
There we
of
go.
Slytherins.
There we go.
But I also, I mean, hey, I'm a reptile fan, and on the Patronus question, you can kind of see a tank back there. I have a pet bearded dragon, so I'd like to imagine that maybe she could be my
Oh,
my Patronus.
that is awesome. Yo, dragons would just be amazing. Oh
Yeah,
my
right.
gosh, that is awesome. Okay, cool. So Slytherins represent in the comment section.
Yes.
Okay, so we heard a little bit about how you got into voice acting. It's something you've just been doing ever since you were little. What other roles might we have heard you or seen you play outside of Harry Potter Magic Awakened? I know you mentioned audiobooks or any other titles that you might be able to share or not.
Yeah. So probably the biggest or most popular role that I've been able to portray, at least recently, I was the voice of Connie on the Cartoon Network show Steven Universe, which
No way.
which is a lot of fun to work on. And also in video games, I worked on Fallout 76 and the Wastelanders expansion, as the voice of Julie, the Fallout radio DJ.
Yeah. Oh my, Fallout. One of my
Yeah,
favorite.
Fallout's a
Oh my.
lot of fun too.
Yeah, Fallout is such a good game. Yo, you're blowing my mind. Yeah, you're blowing my mind. Just like little differences with cadence and stuff, like just creates an entirely different character. Wow. Okay. Cool. So we're talking about Robyn. We talked about some of your old roles. How did you eventually land on Robyn Thistlewaite?
Well, I mean, from the moment I got her character description, I just loved her. And especially, too, I mean, I love that as a female character in the Harry Potter universe, she doesn't take the like bookworm archetype like Hermione at
No,
all. I mean,
no.
one of my favorite Robyn moments in the series, like when I was playing like the initial parts of the game, is when she's like, "I can handle this," and like casting Gorgio on like some monsters, and it's like,
Uh-oh.
girl, you just made things worse.
But yo, she reminds me of Jenny a little bit, at least with the
Yeah.
Quidditch angle, and just
Yeah,
like, girl,
definitely.
like I can handle my own. Like I'm not worried about this. Like I'm gonna go
Yeah.
out here and get things done. So
Yeah,
that's such a
definitely.
good point.
Especially Ginny in the books.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Not the
Yeah.
movies. Yeah, the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's actually one of my favorite characters in a character I had a crush on, but we're not going to talk about that. But but no, I definitely see correlations between those two characters.
I
So
can see that. Yeah.
yeah. So since we're talking about correlations, is there any correlation between you and Robyn? We had one with Jenny and Robyn. What about you and Robyn?
Well, I definitely think that if I was a Hogwarts student, I would also be pretty obsessed with Quidditch.
Okay.
Probably more as an observer. I'm not really that much of the athletic type myself.
Right, right, right.
But I always did say, especially when I was a kid and I like was first reading Harry Potter, I also, similar to Robyn, was always the most drawn to the beater position.
Yes, that's same,
So I,
same.
yeah, I could see myself wanting to, hit the
Not-
bludger around a little bit.
hit a few people a little bit, get
Yeah.
ruffle people up a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
But probably the biggest difference between me and Robyn, I definitely liked school.
That is a great point. Yeah, I don't see Robyn kind of enjoying sitting down in class too long. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great point. No, I always saw myself as a beater as well in Quidditch. Be on the lookout. Grace and James, Beaters Worldwide coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Teamed up, Hufflepuff and Slytherin. Okay, cool, cool,
Okay, yeah.
cool. Okay, so we asked about, correlation between you and Robyn. Are there did you try out for any other characters, Cassandra or any other characters during this
I
process?
I had gotten I think I might have it was back in, I want to say either 2017 or 2018 that I
Okay.
first auditioned for Robyn. I
Okay.
I remember I don't remember if I ultimately decided to read for Lottie,
Ooh,
but
Lottie. Okay.
but
Uh-huh.
I know for a fact that I auditioned for Moaning Myrtle and that was really, really
Oh,
fun. But when it comes down to
oh.
those like voice matches to the
Yeah,
original sounds, it's tricky.
it's very tricky. Yeah.
I think that the voice that they ultimately got for her sounds super dead on. That's honestly been one of the most amazing things about playing the game is the
Yeah.
voice matches are
So well
so good.
done. So
Especially
well done.
Hagrid. Hagrid sounds
Yes.
amazing.
I was just like the ers with it, and then the role. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, did they really get Robbie to do this? Like, who is this voice actor? Is doing a great job. And like you
I
said,
know.
everybody else was so well. Was there anybody you've enjoyed like kind of just hearing outside of like the known characters, any of the new characters you enjoy the voice acting of in the game so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny to interact with Cassandra or
Yes.
Cassandra.
The
I mean,
sass, yes.
yes, yeah, it's pretty fun. I
Yeah.
just yeah, I like those characters that are written to be so sassy. Yeah.
Yes, yes. That's honestly the nickname of my wife. She's like one half of the channel. We're going to get into some of the fandom a little bit and into some of the game questions. I feel like we've gotten to know you a little bit. So again, appreciate you for being here. So one of the questions is, how big of a Harry Potter fan or Wizarding World fan are you just from growing up to now?
I mean, I love Harry Potter. I read all the books when I was a kid. I
Mhm.
watched all the movies. I remember I have very fond memories of going to a book release party for the seventh book
Yes.
at
Yes.
Borders. Um,
Okay, okay. Not
so
Barnes and Nobles.
R.I.P. Borders.
Yeah, I know, I know.
But I remember we had a Harry Potter spelling bee competition thing, and I was pretty little. I don't remember. Do you know off the top of your head when the seventh book
No,
came out? But
no, I think it was like late 2000s, I want to say,
yeah, that
around
sounds
that
right.
time.
So
Yeah.
I was like maybe 10 or 11, and I
Okay.
remember I dressed up in like the closest outfit I could to like Hermione at the Yule Ball, and I was like competing in the spelling bee against
Yeah.
adults, and I
Uh-huh.
remember very proudly coming in third place.
Let's go.
but I,
Let's
I
go.
but I messed up on getting the spelling right of Remembrall.
Ooh, that's
So
a
that
tough
was
one.
tough. That was
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. Just the pronunciation in that one is always hard for me to say. Like, remember, I was just like,
Mhm.
so tough.
So
Just
yes,
roll.
I've been a Harry Potter fan for a long time,
A
and
long time.
um
Awesome.
yeah, it's It's a blast. I love the wizarding world.
Have you been able to go to any of the WB tours or Universal at all?
I've gone to the Wizarding World in LA and the Universal Studios Hollywood, and the one in Orlando, which was
Nice. So you
really
got to do
fun.
both. Yeah.
I did get to do both, and the train between Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade is
Uh,
so much fun.
so good. Yeah.
I think I have a slight I've only been there once, and it was like pretty recently after it opened, I think.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
at least I can't remember. It was probably in like 2013, the last time I went to the Orlando one, because I have family in Florida.
Nice.
But I remember trying butterbeer for the first time and just being so excited. I think I have like a photo that my mom took of me with like a butterbeer stash.
Oh my God. I was actually just there in the one in Orlando for a friend's wedding. And that was actually my first time going to that one. I'd actually been to the one in LA twice, hashtag sponsored by WB, courtesy of them for 2 game launches. We know Grace is a huge Wizarding World fan, and not only Wizarding World, but Harry Potter. So we got your house, we got your Patronus. What is your favorite Harry Potter book?
Easy. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh,
I've read I that used to be like if there was any like field trip as a kid or like
Mhm.
something where like I would have to like bring a book with me,
Yeah.
even though I had read it. Like I think I've read that book like 4, 5, 6 times. And I haven't even I've been meaning, I kind of want to do a Harry Potter books reread because it's been a while,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I love that book.
That's the one you would just cozy up with and just reread 1,000 times.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Oh
it's
my
like just
gosh.
starting to get a little
It's
darker, but
darker.
it's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
all the way like
Yeah.
intense. But yeah,
Yeah, it did start getting intense because
I
my
also
favorite was Half-Blood Prince. And
mhm.
so because there's, I mean, you get the Tom Riddle background and everything and stuff, and like it just adds to the complexity of the characters, and stuff just starts getting revealed more and more in that one, even though I think my favorite movie, which I'll ask you, I think my favorite movie is the third one,
Mm.
The Prisoner of Azkaban, because Sirius Black is my favorite character.
Oh,
Him and
yes.
Newt Scamander are my 2 favorite Wizarding World characters, like by far. So,
Yeah, yeah.
what about you?
I mean, as far as movies go, I also really enjoy the third movie. But I also really enjoy Goblet of Fire.
Y-
Um I like the movie of Goblet of Fire. It's one of the ones where I might enjoy the movie a bit more
In the
than the
book.
book.
Who's your favorite character? Do you have one? I know you mentioned Hermione. That was the one you kind of connected with.
Yeah. I also love Remus Lupin.
Yes.
I love Tonks. I love Tonks.
Yes, yes.
Um and
Such
then
good roles. Yeah.
yeah, and also on the villainous end, I really love Bellatrix Lestrange.
Helen the Bottom Carter killed it. Killed it as that character. Oh my gosh, she
I mean,
embodied that. Mind blowing.
she's so talented.
She
And
is.
also one of my favorite moments of Helen Bonham Carter is when in the Deathly Hollows when she's
Mhm.
pretending to be Hermione, pretending to be her.
Yes, that
It's
is
like
so underrated.
yeah,
It's
it's so
so underrated.
impressive because you can see it. It's so talented. She's so talented.
Good call, Bella. Bellatrix in the house, who is actually an echo in the game, which we'll get into. So, the game. The game's been out. Global release was June 27th, 2023. As of recording, it's been out a little bit over a week now. And from just playing it, I've enjoyed it. I've had the privilege of doing the beta leading up to the game a couple of times. So kind of seeing how WB, NetEase, and everyone involved with the game has tweaked it with each iteration of the game, leading to the soft launch and now global release. I'm just surprised how deep it is and how amazing it is. But overall, the story how amazing the story is with the character. So for you, having messed with the game before, I'm assuming, but maybe even now, like how are you enjoying the game overall?
I mean, it is so impressive, the like scope of the game for a mobile game.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean,
Great call.
I am not I don't play a lot of mobile games.
Mhm.
I mean, like, it's the kind of thing where you just like throw it on and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I'm
yeah.
killing time." But
Yeah, yeah.
it's like when I first downloaded it and I realized I was like, "Oh, you can explore the castle. You have all these like quests, you
Yes.
can take different classes." It's insane how much there is.
Yeah, that is the word, deep, because there's so many layers to it. Yes, it's a mobile game. Yes, it's an RPG, MMO style, card collectible type game. But there's more to it. You can take class and have fun with your friends and work up the ranks, do dueling and compete there and join social clubs. And there's a huge storyline. And there's just
Yeah.
so many other layers. So yeah, I think you called it. Deep is the right
It's
word,
it's
especially.
impressive, and it's also, I mean, when I this so w- the global release was actually the first time I played the game. I didn't have
Okay,
the
okay,
beta or anything, but I
cool.
remember when I had got, because I the way that the recording sessions would work,
Hmm.
um they would bring me in periodically if they like wrote new storylines or if they had
Okay.
changes to the dialogue that they needed to make. So
Hmm.
it wasn't like I just recorded it all in one go and
Yeah.
I was just like done. um so a couple of times I would come in and I would get shown a video of like, here's what the gameplay is looking like right now, or like, here's where we're at.
Wow. Yeah.
And so it was very cool to see the sort of bare bones of like
Hmm.
as it was in progress.
Hmm.
But yeah, seeing it now with everybody else, I
Polished and
was
everything.
extremely impressed by the yeah, just the how many things there are to do.
Is there a favorite echo you would like to use with a deck when maybe if you're going into dueling or the Forbidden Forest or even the take with your class? What
Yeah.
echo is resonating
S-
with you?
So for dueling, I did unlock Newt Scamander, which I know you mentioned that it was one of your favorite characters, and I love
Yes.
being I like the summoning cards because I'm like, go off, do my bidding.
Yeah. Yes. Oh
And
yes.
so it's nice, you use up enough of those, and then he has his ability,
Yeah.
and then you get a good strong monster to go fight for you. So that's
Yes.
fun. And so I've been having fun with that. I definitely I want to unlock more of them and try more of
Different
them out
ones.
though. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I would say Newt's my favorite that I've unlocked so far.
Okay. Is there a card you might like to pair with Nude or just an overall card you just like, oh my gosh, this card is amazing? Like, is there anything standing out so far that you've been able to unlock?
Yeah, so I like playing with the troll, the massive troll that you can put out there.
Yeah.
Also, it might be a little bit biased because it's one of my favorite ones to say when I
Okay.
was recording, but I loved going acromantula venom.
That is you. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that is you. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that. Yo, that's
Yeah,
so,
so that's a fun one to say.
yeah.
And also just on the defensive end, because I haven't I mean, I've been enjoying playing, but I haven't like there's definitely a lot to still unlock, but
For sure.
on the defensive end, I like using Ventus, just I'm like, give me some
Get
space.
away.
Get away. Yeah.
Stay back for a little bit.
Yeah,
Let me get my
exactly.
strategy going. Let me get my
Exactly.
cards
I'm like,
going.
what am I doing? What am I doing?
That's such a good. Oh my gosh! Now I have to use acrobatism now. After this, I have to use it all the time. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna think of you every time with that spell
Yeah.
now.
I mean, it's also nice, you get the area of effect. So it's
Oh
like if
yeah,
there's like all of those little guys going around,
coming
whatever they are,
slow down.
I'm just like, die, die, die.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh. Mind blown right now. Mind blown. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we talked about a little bit of dueling. Obviously, the game is not just dueling. There's so many other aspects to Harry Potter Magic Awaken. What class have you enjoyed taking so far that you've unlocked?
Um, I enjoyed divination. I mean, I think it's fun. And I think that is like one of the ones that really highlights the social
Mhm.
component of the game, because you're basically like playing charades
Yeah.
with other random players. And then you see someone like draw like a symbol and the
Yeah.
crystal ball, and you're like, is that what
This-
that looks like?
yeah. Take
But
a guess. Yeah.
it's pretty, that one's pretty fun. And I
Mhm.
also, I mean, as a Prisoner of Azkaban stan, I love me some Professor Trelawney.
Uh yo, how are we getting along? Professor Trelawney is my favorite professor.
Oh
I know,
my god.
yeah, Professor Trelawney is like, she's she I love Trelawney. Yeah, I know a lot of
Yes.
people are biased to Snape, especially with his backstory and overall what happens with his story. Not to undermine anybody else's and stuff. It's just Trelawney was the one I resonated with the most, especially I forgot the name of the actress who played her in the
Oh, Emma
movies.
Thompson.
Emma Thompson, yes, especially Emma Thompson's take
Oh
on the
yeah.
character.
Her
I
portrayal was so fun.
so fun, so fun. Yo, let's go. Divination is actually I know I'm a magic zoo, so I would say like care of magical creatures and stuff, but divination is the one I'm enjoying in regards to the classes in the game as well. I have an artistic background and stuff, so being able to draw, I have a little stylus with my phone,
Oh
and so being
nice.
able to do it and just try to make it look like what I'm seeing the closest with the limited amount of time, and
Right, right.
getting comments like, "Oh, this is a good drawing" and stuff. I was like, "Yes, I nailed it." So,
Yeah. You're like a little pat on the back, digital
exactly.
pat on the back from your fellow classmates.
Yeah. So divination is mine. Oh my gosh, we keep saying the same. I was like, I want to introduce new other perspectives, but I was like, we just talk forever. I
Yeah.
was like, we got the same thing. Like, let's just go. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So one of the last things is we talked about again this game being so deep, so you can take class, you can do duels, there's social clubs, there's potions, you can do exploring, all of that. That being said, what's been kind of like your favorite thing you just enjoy falling back into with the game so far?
I mean, it's dueling is just very fun. It's the, I don't know, it kind of feels like the meat and potatoes
It
of
is.
the game.
Yeah.
I also am enjoying a little bit of the like rhythm game dancing part, which is fun. The harder ones, I'm like, oh,
Bro, two hands and
yeah.
stuff, you're trying to do it.
And then
Yeah.
I'm like, can't even fully see. I like want to play it on an iPad instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's also just fun to just hop on a broom and fly around. I think the fact that it has that sort of open world component to
In
it
a
is
mobile game.
crazy.
So crazy. We had just celebrated, I know in the United States, we just celebrated 4th of July. A bunch of us in our Discord and a bunch of people in our social clubs, we all got together. It's like, all right, we're going to meet here. We're going to meet here on the bridge, by Hogwarts, and just all of us watch the fireworks. And so you just see names of all your friends you've met digitally watching the fireworks together for the last time before it goes away and stuff. And so just to harken back on what you were saying, just being able to fly on a broom and look at Hogwarts from afar on a mobile game and then share that experience with your friends and with Grace and anybody else who voiced the game and a dev that you don't even know who's playing the game, like anybody, is just kind of special. And again, kind of sharing that passion and love for the wizarding world in such a tight compartment that is with mobile gaming is just magical. Honestly, it's so magical. So
And I'm super excited. I just noticed in the map it said London coming soon. And I was like,
yes, I was like,
hmm,
do we get the ministry?
yeah.
Do we get what do we get? United, like our platform 934. It's like, what are you gonna give us? So hopefully hashtag soon, hopefully. So but yo, Grace, thank you so much for answering these amazing questions. These are some of the
Of
ones
course.
I had just overall interview questions, but I do have a couple of fan questions for you right quick before we end this amazing interview. Are you cool with that?
Absolutely. Lay them
All
on
right.
me.
Okay. Our first fan question from our Discord, shout out to our XpectoGO Discord, is from Sally Mandrake. And she asked, Hi, what was the hardest thing when first voicing the character Robyn for you?
It's a good question. So one thing that pretty consistently would happen in records, I mean, obviously, as you can hear me talking right now, I have an American accent. And
Right.
even though I have spent a good amount of time practicing my British accent, mistakes happen. And
Mhm.
the one consistent direction that I often get when I'm recording is I have to like change my A's. So instead of like classes, classes. So it's like that.
Oh,
So I'll like if it comes in the middle of a line,
yeah.
like the director will be like, watch those A's.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that's always something that I have to keep an eye out for. And when I get a new script, I kind of have to like take a look at that because
hmm
that is, there are little things. And when you're doing an accent that isn't your own, you're gonna mess up sometimes. But that's
And
like
kind
the
of fall
one.
back into it.
Yeah,
And
that's like one of the one things where I'm like, "Ah," and it's always it is often, I shouldn't say always, but it is often the word classes or class. Like it's like it'll be like, "We're going to be late for class," or "We're going to be late for class." And it's like,
Mm,
not quite. Try again."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Something little like that. That's crazy. Lightstar. If you could be a professor for any class at Hogwarts, what would you choose and why?
I think I would say if I were going to be a professor at Hogwarts, I would probably choose divination.
Okay.
I I I don't know. I mean, in the books, there's a little bit of talk about astrology and like
Yes.
tarot, and that
Yeah.
that definitely could be something that I could get into teaching. I mean, it's very like person living in LA of me to be
Yeah.
like, I'm like, yeah, let's bust out the crystals, let's bust out the tarot deck, like let's get into it. I feel like I would have a lot of fun with that.
That's awesome. So the next one, a lot of people are interested in this field you've taken, which is voice acting, and that's reflected here with SK Poem asking, what recommendations would you have for an almost 20-year-old interested in making a career out of voice acting?
That's a great question. I mean, voice acting is a very fun career. I definitely would recommend it. I would definitely say, especially if you're around that like college age, I would see if you either live near, but also the internet. You can contact people wherever in animation programs at different colleges because a lot of student films are all like student animation projects are looking for voice actors for their projects, and that's a great way to sort of get a feel, make connections, and also build up your reel
Yeah.
and experiment with different voices in a sort of like low stakes, low pressure sort of environment. They're non-union projects, so you don't have to worry about not having enough credits to join
Yeah.
SAG or anything like that. And that's a great place to get started. And also, I mean, with other forms of voice acting, once you have a reel, you can start to, you can make a demo reel and then try to find an agent, and then your agent helps you get auditions. And,
Yeah.
but yeah, gaining practice doing smaller project is a great way to experiment with your voice and find out what you like doing.
That is, oh my gosh, that's such a good call with the animation studio over it, especially in college and stuff, because they're just looking for people to fill out those roles and anything. And they probably can't afford like a really trained actor. So, it's honestly pro bono work, and you guys are helping each other out, like you said, while building a profile or resume to kind of share eventually. And so
Absolutely. And you
that's
never know.
amazing.
Some of those projects end up going to animation festivals, and it's a good way to sort of get your voice out there.
Networking, that is such a good call. And I didn't realize how open the market is for voice acting, because it's not just video games, it's animation, it's audiobooks, it's so many other things that you can get
Yeah.
involved with. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, there's so many different avenues too, and there's also commercial VO. You can do all the like ad copy and like, I
That
mean, I
is
guess
true.
radio ads aren't as common these days, but
Right,
they still
right.
get made.
Yeah, 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 yeah. For podcasts, possibly too. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep. Oh my gosh, that's such great advice. So yeah, voice actors, listen. All right. The next question, this is from Axie. What's been the experience working with other voice actors and the studio overall in this project?
So actually, it's a kind of fun fact. I'm recording Robyn on my own most of the time. I really only have the feedback of the person directing me. So when you see those conversations and those cutscenes, I kind of just have to mentally imagine that I'm talking to Daniel or the player or Kevin or Cassandra or whoever. And so it's pretty fun. I mean, I love getting to play the game, and that's actually why I love watching the cutscenes, is because it's so fun to see how it all comes together. But yeah, I'm kind of just imagining the tone of the thing that I'm responding to. And it's very common. I mean, there are some projects that do have group recording sessions. It's more common in animation than video games. At least in my experience. But it's super fun to hear. I mean, I think the cast of this game is all so talented, and so it's just fun to hear how it all comes together.
Awesome. And the final one, and our final fan question before we let you get out of here. This is from Steph A. Who besides Robyn is your favorite in-game character?
Well, as Robyn, I feel like the answer is kind of obvious. It's got to be Kevin.
Kevin,
I mean,
yes.
I think one of my favorite parts of recording Robyn are the little bits of dialogue where we see this hint of a crush, or maybe hint of a crush is pretty generous. It's a bit of an obvious crush that Robyn has on Kevin, and it's so sweet. And I love that they have this sort of odd couple dynamic with her as this very brash, almost like jock-like character, and him as this bookworm who's kind of timid. And I love their dynamic so much.
That's such a good call. That's the obvious answer. That makes so much sense. That is the obvious. Shout out to Kevin, man. I love Kevin as a companion card, especially with Snape as an echo. There's some cool,
I'll have to try that combo.
There's a cool duality there with their basic attacks and stuff, which is cool to actualize if you can knock it out. So shout out to Kevin. We love you, Kevin. But that's going to be it for the interview. Again, this has been so much fun. I feel like we could talk for hours and stuff just about
so much fun
and everything. But this is going to be a video, so we can't have it too long. But that being said, I always try and promote the people we're talking to who give us the honor of coming on the platform. So is there any place people can follow you in your progress in regards to voice acting professionally or anywhere else? Please let us know.
Yes, definitely. I am on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Grace.Rolek, which is ROLEK. I'm sure if you're watching this video, it'll say it somewhere in the description or title. So
I have all of that down in the description for sure.
I'm not currently on Twitter. Unfortunately, my Twitter got hacked.
Oh no.
So I do have an account, but
don't worry about it.
But I did just join Threads, which as of when we recorded
is a thing now.
Like really new. So I don't know, maybe by the time this goes up, it'll either be the rage or it'll be obsolete. So, but that's the same username as Instagram. So we'll see.
We'll have all of those linked down, and for sure, go show some love and maybe get to know a little bit of the process of voice acting from Grace's eyes a little bit, and maybe even behind the scenes. But thank you so much, Grace, for being here over on the channel, and I'm honored to represent not only XpectoGO, but again, Harry Potter Magic Awakened as an ambassador as well, and as a fan of the game, not only just the game but the Wizarding world. I appreciate what you've been able to add to this world that we love with this character, Robyn. And so I'm so looking forward to fleshing out more of her character and getting to know her in the next upcoming years. And I hope we can do this again, maybe like the game gets into a couple of years later, like, okay, what do you think about the story? Like, what was it like doing this and stuff like that?
That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. I can't wait to see as the story evolves, because I mean, I'm gonna find out more as time goes on too. So
yeah. So we definitely got to do a part 2 eventually in a
yes,
couple
I
of
would
years
love that.
later once the game moves on. But that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching the video and hanging out with you, boy. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button. It all helps the video reach others like yourself who might be interested in this type of content. Hopefully more interviews coming soon. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Harry Potter Magic Awakened content. We will see you guys in the next video. Until next time.
Bye.